So today I'm going to talk about shoe. Do you like buying shoe and how often? I love buying shoes and collecting it. However, I don't have enough budgets, so I rarely bought some. I rarely buy some, and it have to depends a lot on my previous shoes state. Because if it was damaged or it is no longer being used, I can buy. I can buy a new one. Have you ever bought shoes online? Yes, I have. It was kind of risk because you're not sure about your foot size and other policies, if where it have any technical problems or not. However, if you find a well reputation shop, things would be better at least. How much money do you usually spend on the shoes? Well, it's fluctuate from 900 to somewhere 1.5 millions, because if you bought if you buy a lower budget shoes, the quality will not maybe not that good, and it was too expensive for me to buy something over 2 millions, and it would be unnecessary. So that's my budget from 9 to 1.5 million. Oh, 900 to 1.5 million. Do you prefer shoes that are comfortable or shoes that look nice? Or I prefer the ability of it rather than the outlook, because I want to have a good performance whenever I play basketball. So the outside and the outlook of the shoes are not do harm to me at all and do not matter to me at all. Do you prefer shoes? Do you often buy shoes from famous brand? Well, I do, and pretty often. However, it was only for my basketball shoes. Otherwise, I just bought some from the market with a real low price because I know that I would replace it kinda often. Part two is sort of an experience of watching a sport event. So 5 year no, actually the 2028 World Cup was the most unforgettable moment of mine when I'm having time to watch all matches of these biggest sport event in the world. Well, I remember that even though I was watching through TVs, I still can feel the hype and the vibrance of the of the atmosphere right at the media at the stadium. However, watching through a TV as a viewer are different as a spectator when I have a brother who have enough money to buy one or two tickets to watch World Cup. Well, at first, so the World Cup was kind of really hype up and was an intensive sport. People love watching it because might follow, they want to follow the country that they want or their favorite footballer. For me at that time was Ronaldo. Ronaldo. Well, uh, let me tell you a short story about my experience, because I have no others friends who can share my hobbies of watching football. I asked my family to gather together and watch with me, but it's a catch. Uh, we would make a deal, right? So each person choose a team, and whether it's lose or not, uh, we would have to eat some a type uh, cookies that we have been really disappointed and disgusted about, and we haven't touched it yet. Well, that's why I keep the 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 fire of loving of football still alive. Uh, describe a place that you have traveled to. So today I'm also gonna talk about a beach that I have gone only with my mother last year. So because I have staying home for a long period of time and not decided to go anywhere, even sightseeing, my mother forced me to go with her because uh there was she was also have a business trip at Vũng Tàu, so she brought me along. Well, we didn't stay in any kind of hotel. We live in a hostel uh located on the coast. Well, because it wasn't a hotel, there's no kind of service. You have to do everything by yourself. The only things that it had was a place for you to sleep, right? The beach at that time was wonderful. The environment, the atmosphere was kind of really beautiful because it was summer, and luckily, the it wasn't that hot compared to other seasons, and even the same times, other times in summers as well. Me and my mother did enjoy the period when we living there, and we met a lot of person who was very kind and helpful. I remember one moment when I got lost because I have I haven't I haven't been familiar with the area. Well, it was kind of shame because I was an old man who got lost and I have no clue how to get back. I asked people and finally I found a way to come back. It was kind of late, but a really unforgettable experience. And by then, I think I just have one of the most wonderful friends by there because everyone's are helpful and easy to talk with, even though they look kind of weird because they're living in islands, right? So they have real interaction with other people from the outside of the local. But to sum up, they're still very nice. Where do people prefer to travel to? Well, it depends on how long of the vacations and what the budgets. Some people may just travel somewhere to relax away from cities atmosphere. However, some cases people love the luxuries, sceneries, so they decide to live in somewhere a bit expensive. It is difficult for young people to choose a travel destination. Obviously not, because right now you can find a rating system online really easy. It shows every destination you want to go, from the service, the food, people, and the staff, whether they are friendly or not. So it was kind of useful and easy for teenagers today to find one, especially rice, which has been a concern when technology wasn't very useful. People were concerned about how much rice would cost, how much it would cost them, and that's why now are much easier in the past. How do how do people decide on their travel dates? Well, usually if it was short trip, they're gonna go on a weekend. However, in some cases people are on a holiday, so they decide to go for a long trip or maybe a bit far away. And there's one other case that's really rare that they leaving the job and the working process and go on vacation on weekdays because on the weekdays there are less tourists on one destination, so they can really enjoy the environments around them.